I am Maria Lewit. I was born in 1924 in Lodz, Poland. Lodz was an industrial town of 600,000 inhabitants. It was a very interesting setup of ethnic communities. It was divided into three communities: Polish, German, and Jewish. Approximately, in equal numbers. I had a happy childhood. I lack in nothing. The first time I felt uncomfortable was when I went with my father to watch some parade on the national holiday. And it was very beautiful to watch because army was marching and singing and all kind of things. And then it was, all of a sudden we heard someone calling, "Down with Jews, down with Jews." I might have been, I don't know, 6 perhaps then. My father was with me. I know that I felt all of a sudden my heart was, I knew that I have heart in my breast because it was wobbling there. And my father squeezed my hand and said, "Don't worry, this is just one voice, don't worry about it." Now, to make my life perhaps more complicated or less complicated, my father was a Jew. My mother wasn't born Jewish. She converted into Judaism and she married my father. I knew that there was pogroms in Poland before the war. I heard it being discussed at home. I knew that there was boycott for Jewish shops. I knew that there were Polish shops which displays a sound that they are selling only to Polish people and things like this. But somehow I didn't pay much attention to it. I didn't pay much. I was happy girl, school girl, sometimes falling in love, sometimes having my heart broken and so on. And this is how my life was going. I had a group of very close friends with whom I started, with whom I knew them even before we started school. The war started on the 1st of September 1939. And straight away our life underwent incredible change. Lodz was occupied by Nazis troops immediately on the 7th day of the war. And because 200,000 of its inhabitants were Germans, straight away the whole town changed into a German town. There were flags, Nazi flags hanging from almost every house. Soldiers were marching and singing, German songs. And Jewish people, majority of them were traditional Jews. They were wearing, kaftans, and they have earlocks and beards and so on. They were visible whenever they went. They were being abused, left, right, and center. Sometimes they were taken to perform some manual work, or sometimes it was work which was carrying stones from one end of the yard to another one and back again and so on, just to abuse people, to make them feel uncertain, to make them feel, I don't know, to take away their dignity and to take away their peace of mind. The press was full of anti-Semitic, articles. And what was horrible about it, that I remember thinking it very distinctly, that we are the same people as we were just a few weeks ago. What happened? So it was very painful. And I think that the most painful moment came when my father was kicked by a Nazi uniformed man and died on the following day. I came to pick him up to perform one of these manual or, you know, sadistic work or whatever. And he wasn't well. He was sick at the time. So my mother was asking the man. He said, "Let him be. He's a sick man." And the fellow said to her, "Oh, a sick man. I know Jewish sickness. Jews are always sick when asked to work. But it happened that I know the remedy for Jewish sickness." And his remedy was to kick and to hit and to do that kind of things, you know. So this was it. My father was 51 then. And my mother was reflecting on it, that there's nowhere I can go. There's no one I can complain to. Because we live in times when to kill a Jew or a man is lawful. One day when I was walking with my mother in the street, I saw, for the first time, I saw a person lying in the street, probably dying or already dead. I thought it was a dying person. And the normal reaction of a 15-year-old is to go, to help. This is what we were supposed to do. And I wanted to go, and my mother, who was teaching me to help others and so on, stopped me. And she said, "No, you can't do it." And I said, "Why? Why can't I do it?" And she said, "Because that person is probably already dead or just about dying. This person would be covered up in lice. You can't afford to go there and catch a few lice and bring it to where we live and to contaminate other people. We can't do things like this." And again, this realization that in order to keep on living, one had to put blinkers on. These were horrible times. These were horrible times. These were times that really, if person was too much feeling, if person wanted to help everyone, there was always somebody else to be helped, and somebody else, and somebody else. In all these horrible conditions of the Warsaw Ghetto, it was amazing how many things were done. For example, my teachers organized, you know, classes for us. It was punishable by death. All these nice things were punishable by death. But I had courage to do it. I know that I would be always grateful to my teachers that they gave us the moments to forget the reality of what was going on outside. Our friends in the ghetto, our family, was urging us to do it. You know, don't be stupid, you go, make it easier for yourself and so on. And so we went. My aunt, my non-Jewish aunt, organized papers for us where our name remained the same, but she changed our religion, you know, to Russian Orthodox. And we left ghetto very easily. I felt like a rat who ran away from the sinking ship. I missed my friends. I missed my whole life. I was frightened at every moment of the day when I was outside, because Warsaw was full of denouncing people. You know, it was their profession. This is what they're Jew spotters, they were called. Now, all of a sudden, people were divided in two categories. People who had good looks and people who had bad looks. So bad looks were, you know, my eyes were all right, my hair was all right, my nose wasn't, you know. So I was usually holding handkerchief to it, you know. I was so conscious of it. I was My nose was my enemy. My nose will tell the whole world who I am, you know. If I may, I want to tell you about something which made me feel a little bit better. One day I found myself on the border of the ghetto and Warsaw proper. It was a marketplace. And when I arrived there, I saw a Polish policeman shaking and hitting something. I wasn't even sure what it was. I saw a bag of something. This bag happened to be a Jewish boy. When he was being shaken, a few potatoes fell out, or carrot, I don't even know what, but something I heard, bang, bang, you know, something falling out. And all of a sudden, and there was a crowd of people around. Again, no one stopped behavior like this. And all of a sudden, a German soldier walked to them. He pushed, you know, the people aside. He was very angry. He hit the policeman across his face till he fell to the ground. He took the little boy, set him on the wall, you know, and the boy immediately jumped on the other side. Then he ran to stalls, grabbed few potatoes and other things, and was throwing it over the wall. I always felt that in my life I have been lucky that in moment of despair, when I was very, very low, all of a sudden something came to it, you know, which made me still able, you know, to preserve trust in the future of humanity or whatever. My father's uncle rang us up from Umschlagplatz, and my mother answered the phone, and he said, I wanted to hear voices of living people. We are waiting for our transport, we are going to go. And my mother had this incredible inspiration that she told him a lie, for which I loved her most dearly. He had a son who was he was studying in Lwów University. So she told his father that the boy went somewhere into depths of the Russia, that he is alive. So that uncle of my father was so happy about it, he started to cry and to laugh that now it's going to be easy for him to die knowing that his son is safe in Russia. The ending of the war came suddenly. We were on the front line for 6 weeks, where my aunt, my mother, my sister and I were evacuated. The rest of the family stayed in hiding. But we survived, and we survived, all of us. My uncle, this group survived, my father's brother's family, and we survived. And apart from this, all the other members of the family, which was quite a large family, no one else survived from our family. I have to trust in the future. I have to know, with all the horrible things which happened around us, it is in their hands, in hands of the young people, to make a little bit, you know, perhaps a better world. With awareness of what was going on, it could be done. I still trust, I maintain trust in it. And we are lucky, and they are lucky to be Australians.